Take your pick how you want to look at it. Is the biggest game in college football this weekend Arkansas versus Georgia, or is it Alabama versus Ole Miss? Well, can we split the difference here? Can we do a 1A and a 1B? Because I think either one of these might actually.
Well, then you got to classify which one's 1A. So you're still in the same dilemma.
Let's see what Bill King thinks. He's the host on Nashville Sports Radio 6 to 9, the king of college football talk. Bill, what do you think? Is this a 1A, 1B as far as best game of the weekend, or do you look at one of these games as a little better or a little more competitive than the other?
I think it's more about the brand name, and you got to go Alabama, and you got to go Lane Kiffin in this one. Doesn't mean the game will be better. It might not, but no, anytime you've got Alabama, Nick Saban, and then you have the Lane Kiffin angle on it, you got to go with them initially. Now, Georgia-Arkansas game is beautiful. I'm loving it. I can't wait for it, but no, you got to go. I'm objective here, so I'm going to go with the brand names.
Well, and I think part of it is if you're talking about the coaches here, then it's about the personalities of these coaches, and also the streak that Saban has against the assistants, because Sam Pittman used to work for Kirby Smart. It's just Kirby is not. He's a great coach, and I like listening to him talk, but he's not Nick Saban. And as much as we love Sam Pittman, Lane Kiffin is just flashier, so that's got to be a reason why too.
Yeah, and you've got the quarterback that, at least in today's polling, would lead in the Heisman race, and that's Matt Corral. And, of course, you've got Bryce Young, who's right behind him, apparently, or tied with him in the polling. I don't look at that every day, guys, but he's right at the top. And you've got an Alabama defense that in the Florida game, after the 21-3 mark, showed some humanness. And I'm sure Ole Miss thinks they could take advantage of some of that.
Bill, does another top 10 matchup have an argument for most anticipated game? Notre Dame, Cincinnati. I mean, that's a 7 versus 9 in South Bend.
Yeah, and Notre Dame, Wisconsin. Now, that was a 13-10 game going into the last quarter. Drew Pine, the young freshman who had to come in, quarterback, got hit, fumbled, field goal for Wisconsin. And then Notre Dame just dominated from there. But Notre Dame still got huge offensive line issues that aren't going away this year. And Cincinnati's a very good team. Cincinnati, in a year that's not quite as chalky, could end up in the playoffs. So they got to win all these games. They can't lose one like Alabama can. But Luke Fickell has done a remarkable job there.
He really has. I mean, the stretch of the last 3 years that he's had at Cincinnati, 2 years ago, you see it start to building. Last year, obviously, having a breakout season, and this year, just continuing it. It's become the cream of the crop, the I guess, Boise State of the last few years, the UCFs, the group of 5 team that is clear-cut, head and shoulders above everyone else. And Georgia would like to consider themselves in that category. Obviously, the guys in Vegas are giving them that cachet with giving them an 18.5-point spread against Arkansas. Do you think that the boys in Vegas have nailed it, or is it going to be a lot closer, or could we be talking to you next week about a big upset of 8-2?
I don't know if Arkansas in this matchup has enough playmakers to hang with Georgia. I wouldn't bet it, but that would be a concern for me. And I love the Arkansas story and the team and their style, their toughness, the Sam Pittman story. Nobody believed other than Arkansas that was a good hire. And but this might be the most complete team in America you're going to face between the hedges. That's tough.
Yeah, it is, and that's aside from the athletes that you're facing, and it's a different level of athlete than Arkansas has faced at any point this year. Bill, before all the expansion stuff went down, it seemed we were on course to be doing this 12-game playoff thing that would be voted on soon and confirmed by all of the league presidents. And now, after you're still not after expansion. It's just after, these last couple of months, nobody can agree on anything. except that they don't agree, and that right now the expansion of the college football playoff, we're no closer to that than we were before the rumors about a 12-game playoff came out. Is that what you gleaned from this?
Before Oklahoma, Texas, that announcement, this was on a fast track. And it was going to happen, and it was going to happen before the 12-year current playoff contract expired. After that, it turned into like a first-grade kickball game where you can't agree on the rules and everybody wants to take the ball and go home.
Yeah.
That's what level we're fighting on now. They all want expansion. But the reason why they're backing off now is we're going to show the SEC you don't just get everything you want. And this is led by the SEC, Bob Bowlesby, Jack Schwarber, and also Craig Thompson. Those are four who clandestinely put this together. And now all they're doing is saying, yeah, we're going to expand, but we're not going to do it right now because you're not telling us what to do. That's the level of snit we're in right now. It's that simple.
Yeah. And if they can't agree on how this playoff is going to move forward, and I do think at some point we'll be, the Knight Commission has recommended that FBS football separates from the NCAA. I think if they do that, then it's through the form of the College Football Playoff Committee. But if they can't agree on, what the format's going to look like, then then as far as I could see, FBS football will remain under the umbrella of the NCAA because these schools, these leagues, these schools have to agree on something if they're going to have an organization that goes outside the NCAA for FBS football. Right now, I just don't see it.
You also got to remember the Pac-12 commissioner is new. ACC Commissioner Phillips from Northwestern is new. The Big Ten commissioner is in his second year. So you've got that aspect of it, too. And they're trying to flex a little bit. They're standing in the mirror flexing, wanting everybody to know that they have power, too. Big Ten does have power. The next most powerful league is the Big Ten. But this might not happen as soon as I thought it would just because of the childish antics. You saw what the SEC commissioner said, Sankey, before last week. He said, look, in these meetings, if everybody brings a Christmas wish list and thinks they're going to get everything on it, we're not going to get this done. And that was a metaphor for what he's going through right now.
Yeah, it's really good. That makes good sense the way you put it there, yeah.
It does make good sense, Bill. And the reason why this drives me crazy is the fact that, conferences like the Pac-12, the ACC, and the Big 12, they're having enough hard time getting it in at 4. So why wouldn't expansion be in your favor? I mean, that gets you in there. It gets more teams an opportunity. And with the ACC this year, now that Clemson has 2 losses, they're out. They're basically dead. So why aren't they trying to push the expansion flag when if Clemson dies, so does the league?
Pure power. That's all it is. They know expansion, if it's all about getting the most teams in and making it more fair for everybody, which it's really not. It's about the money. But if that's indeed part of your need there, then obviously you're for it. They're for it. Trust me, guys. They're all for it. They're just not going to give it away because of the power struggle we're in right now. It's a huge power struggle about TV money, in essence.
You're exactly right. When you bring up the kids on the playground, it feels like this is something my girlfriend, who's a kindergarten teacher, would tell me a story about of kids not wanting to share the ball and not wanting to fall in line. Right. It's adults acting like kindergartners. But on to more of the football field and what's gone on this season. Clemson right now 2-2, not where Dabo and everybody, all of us thought they would be. And now the conversation, locally, nationally, is this the start of the end of the Dabo era, the Dabo dynasty, or is this just an off year? I mean, we've seen, it's been few and far between, but we've seen Alabama have an off year. We've seen them finish the year with 2 losses. Is Dabo in that situation, or is it like a lot of people predicting the beginning of the end?
Unclear. Yeah, I don't think the clues are there about a doomsday or this is just a one-year hiccup. They have offensive line problems. This is 2 years now. Even with an All-American running back, they had problems on the offensive line a year ago. They have less weapons this year is a problem. They just lost a superstar sophomore defensive lineman, Brian Brzee, who, number 11, if you notice him, is just nasty. He's a big-time All-American already. He's done. And Skowski, their linebacker, their junkyard dog-type linebacker, has been out a little bit, and he'll be back. The quarterback's now playing well. And there's complaints about the coordinator, who now is at USF. So we don't know yet. They still recruit on a high level, guys. And they've got All-American quarterbacks committed for the future. And I probably would lean against this thing's about over.
All right, Bill, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, as always, for coming on. Okay. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll do it again next week. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Worth a listen, 6 to 9, WNSR. Halftime brought to you by United Welding Institute. This is a place that can find a great job for you. If you're looking for a trade that will make a great living for you and your family, then look at a career in welding. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great paying jobs everywhere welders are needed, and many make up to $2,000 and more. So if you're interested but unsure if welding is something that's for you, United Welding Institute has a free trial. No strings attached. They'll take you through steps to see if welding is going to work for you. United Welding Institute also can help you obtain a GI Bill scholarship or student loan. They're in Pottsville. Students all across the state, but also all across the country. UnitedWeldingInstitute.com, 479-968-3390. And halftime rock.
We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.